All right, guys, top of the morning. Happy Friday, May 30th. God, I cannot believe that we are halfway through this beautiful, beautiful year. So we're going to reflect a little bit today, but I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for being present. Thank you for being in this moment. If you have the ability to throw your cameras on, do so, because I would never dare come to this meeting like this and host the whole meeting without my camera on. So you one eyelash people, go ahead and get your camera on. It's all right. If you're still drawing in your eyebrows like they used to, go ahead, get your camera on, be here, be in this moment. And fellas, not much you need to do. All you need to do is just put your camera on. So you guys, I'm excited. I'm grateful. As you guys know, my brother's been here for this last week and it's been incredible. The words that he's speaking, the clarity that he has is so uplifting for me to hear. And so it's just been a really, really cool week for me. I take him home today and it's kind of bittersweet, but he doesn't know. I'm going to hook him up with a little bit of money. We bought baby a new high chair. We got him a new car seat. We got him diapers that will last for the next few months. Uncle E went shopping yesterday for like little clothes and stuff for, the summertime, a little tank tops. And so I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that he's here. I'm grateful that I'm in a position to just help him out a little bit any way that I can. And so it's been a really, really good week. So enough about us. This is all about you. I'm going to go to somebody to have you bring us out on the field, and that person's going to be Otis. Otis, good to see you, my man. Your name came up yesterday, and that person is here. Diana says she knows you and remembers you. She came to Focus and Fire. Now she's here. She's walking into the fire. So Otis, why don't you take us out on the field, share the sentiment with us on this beautiful Friday morning. Let's roll.
Wow, that's a huge surprise. Welcome, D. It's good to see you. We've been talking about real estate for almost, I want to say, 2 years. So it's actually good to see her face and see her here in our environment. Just full of gratitude. I mean, Jacob, Gary, hopefully Diana's going to come aboard. But it's just like good, sharing our journeys, being here Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. Pretty geeked up because we got a lot of stuff going. Me and Jacob are heating up. Last 45 days been kind of hectic. We had like 3 or 4 people back out, but now, getting back on the mints and getting people right back in the grind. So really grateful for that. Gary, me and him up at Eagle Ridge again this weekend and branching out some other ways. So just really, really humble right now because, seeing friends and family and people join, our environment and just real estate. So just, geeked up to see where their process could eventually be at, in from day one to whenever. So just really feeling good about today. It's good seeing everybody here. It is Friday, so make sure that you're going to have a busy weekend. They're out there regardless of what's going on. We already know 44% of sellers are already giving out some type of credits. Go hit these builders up. Go check out my boy Keith Picante. Now that I got the forum to speak about it, he's giving me and Jacob the $15,000 grant. So he's talking about trying to do something exclusive with Team Fast. So, even our great people here at the money store, everybody has some type of ammo for us to go out and get these buyers into homes. And on the back end, being relatively smart on how you're putting your sellers presentations together. I've had quite a few. They're out there shopping. Hopefully I've nailed down 2 or 3. So that's just my cup is full, so I'm ready to go. I heard what you were saying this weekend, Elias. That production needs to get up, and it's the summertime. So, I'm looking to get back on that top producer dinner panel and a few other things. So I'm just geeked up and I'm ready.
Let's roll, my man. Well, I appreciate you. Diana, welcome. Welcome to anybody else that's a guest here. We're going to go ahead and get rolling. So you guys, I have obviously some thoughts because we talked about this earlier in the week. We talked about this being savage season. This is the time where we need to lock in. This is the time where we need to double down on our efforts, but you also have to have some sense of clarity, because if you are not where you need to be right now at 6 months into the year, then we have to say, fuck it, right? I don't care about the last 6 months. What I care about is what are you going to do moving forward? And the only way that we're going to make sure that by December 31st, we have the year to remember. We made the money that we truly, needed to make for our family and for our lifestyle. That's all going to come from clarity. And so I have a few questions. As always, it's Action Friday. So I want to get you guys in the mix. I want to ask you guys some questions, and I got some things prepared for us today. And so I'm going to pull my screen up right now. I'm going to share that in just a moment here. Boom, bam, we are in. Let's go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. All right, cool. So let's go here. I'm going to present And we're going to go here. And Diana, since you're a guest, I always like to call on people during Keep It Moving. This is not a podcast that we sit idle. This is an involvement. Education is all about an experience. And so, Diana, I'm going to have you read this out loud to everybody. And by the way, it was really good chatting with you yesterday. You are spoken very well. You have a great flow, energy. I think that you are poised to have a really good career as long as you want it and as long as you stay consistent. Sky's the limit for you. So, Diana, I'm going to have you take it away and share this with everybody.
Thank you so much, Elias. So it says prioritize yourself. The more you do is natural to you, the less competition you have. You escape through competition through authenticity.
So let's pause here for a second. So prioritize yourself. So first and foremost, we have a mantra at our company that says, be you, but fast. Now, I spoke to Eric King, and if you don't know Eric King, Diana, he is one of our OGs. He's been with us since before we came to EXP, and so he was one of the Redwood originals. That's what I like to call Eric. Well, Eric has always been what we like to call our spirit animal. He's somebody that's truly expressive. He's got long hair. His business card looks like Danny Trejo. He's got a leather vest on, tattoos, long hair, rides a Harley, and it's just who he is. He's just like, he's brash, he's cool. Like, you look at him, you're like, that dude's got just style, right? He's just a fun person to be around. Well, I talked to him yesterday. In the last 30 days, he happened to go viral, right? And I say happened because he's been at this content game for a long time. And so we spoke yesterday. We do time to time. We have a, check in and just talk and catch up and words of encouragement. And he's like, this whole time, I've always thought I was embodying, this be you, but fast. And he's like, the moment that I just really let go of it all and said, you know what, I am just going to be whoever the heck that I am. And truly, and we thought that he was already doing everything that was, natural to him and that was authentic. And that's what I saw. He's like, man, I was still holding back. There were still things I wasn't saying. I didn't want to be myself. And now he does these property tours and it's just him dancing or him headbanging. And he gives his view from his actual opinion, not hi, welcome to 123 Main Street, situated on a cul-de-sac. Come inside and let me show you this, because that's not wrong, but it's been done by so many other people. Somebody headbanging in a bathtub to a heavy metal song, it's not something you see every single day. And he's like, man, this is me. He's like, I went on a $2 million listing appointment yesterday, or 2.5, the highest price point listing appointment that he's ever been on. He's like, naturally, I would have put on my suit and my tie, and I just would have showed up a little bit different. And he's like, you know what? I had a moment of reflection while I was getting ready. He's like, I wore, my shirt that I would normally wear, put some of my jewelry on, put my turquoise rings on, and I walked in the door, and he's like, the lady said that she absolutely loved my vibe, my style. She's like, you weren't stuffy, you came as yourself. I felt like I was free to be whoever I was around you. And that was one of his best, like affirmations from somebody else saying, you know what, just go ahead and be yourself. And his social media is blowing up. He's booked 14 buyer consultations in the last 30 days from people reaching out on social media. So you have to ask yourself, like, I know we talk about being ourselves, but the more you do what is natural to you, then the less competition you have. You escape competition through authenticity. And you guys, that is your calling card. That is your identity. Nobody else can be an Ashley. Nobody else can be a Patrick, to be a Dominique. But the moment we start to conform and be like, okay, I'm going to do this because they need to see me this way, is the moment that we are not separating ourselves. I'm in a lane of my own. I am in a lane of my own. And so I want you guys to go and follow Eric King. If you don't, if you're already a team member, you do, but just check out what he's doing. And you guys, he's having fun. He's having fun being himself. And now it's starting to really, really produce results. And so he thought he was be you, but fast, but he just unlocked what was actually real for him. So that's the message for today. Prioritize yourself. Every single thing that we do in life, business, health, and relationships, you come first. Your thoughts, your opinions, your vantage point, your temple, everything starts with you. And the moment that you could say, fuck the world, this is me, this is who I am, this is how I express, is the moment you build a brand that people want to follow and be around. We don't conform, we express, and we truly, truly put our authentic selves first, and we put ourselves first. Make sense, everybody? Kitty cats involved? All right, good, you guys, good. Darrell's on a run right now. So let's do this, you guys. I got some things I want to ask you guys. We're going to go right into this. And the first person up is going to be Blessing. You have half of your camera on, but I'm going to go to you. Blessing, I'm going to ask you a question. What's one bold action that you took this week that moved the needle in your business, and what was the result? And let's go there.
Good morning. So one thing that I did this week was really authentically look at my business and where my pipeline is and start to reach out to people that were dormant that I was expecting a no because it had been so long. And one of them, actually, it's been 2 years since I worked with them, came back and said that they were ready to try again, and that they only wanted to work with me. So it was just validation that the impression and the way that I show up was good. So I got them connected with Vivian over at the money store. We're working on their plan to be able to buy. But again, 2 years in the making. And
I think I lost you guys.
he's frozen, but can you guys hear me? Great.
There we are.
Elias, there you go.
Yes,
There
we
we
can
go.
hear you, but
Yeah, I don't know what you heard last, but showing up, and even if time goes by, reaching out, because you can still make a lasting impression.
All right. Was there something that you said that worked? Was there a script? Was there a re-engagement phrase? Was there something that truly, truly worked for you?
Not necessarily. I just think what I was sending out was it's been some time. What's changed in your search? And
Awesome.
that was the conversation starter.
All right, you guys, here's what I want you to do. And I appreciate it. Sorry if I missed any of what you were saying. I'm going to put something in the chat in just a second. What I did is I did the same exact thing yesterday for some cold leads, and I wanted to see what chat was able to produce for us. And man, these responses are absolutely fire. So let me go, I'll put 2 in here now because it's not letting me download the file. Blessing, I want you to check these out. I'm going to put them in the file right now in the chat. And this is going to be really, really powerful stuff. So let me just do this here. Erase what I have in the chat. Boom, bam. All right, here's 2. And this is really, really powerful. So I put 2 in the chat below. Make sure to copy that, put that on a Word document. The link is not working, so I just want to make sure that you guys have it. The window might be opening, again, curiosity and market insight. Hey, Tom, it's Elias Astuto. It's been a while since we connected about real estate. I was thinking of you today because the market shifted a bit and some great opportunities are quietly popping up again. Are you still considering a move, or have your plans changed? Right? I like this. Out of the blue, but with purpose, human first. Hey, Tom, I know it's been a minute. Life moves fast. Just want to check in. No pressure at all. When we spoke last, you had insert memory. You had talked about wanting to move to the Concord area. Curious, is that still something that's on your radar, or did life take you in a different direction? Okay, really, really like these responses. And I'm going to hit you with 2 more right now in the chat. And then before we close out, I'll hit you with the last one. So copy here, boom, bam, we're in. And I want you guys to just take those and put those in a Word document. That way you guys always have it. Hi, baby. There's your other ones. Quick update for you. Hey, Tom, quick update. Rates and inventory have shifted. A few clients who were on pause last year just jumped back in, thought it might be worth a quick catch up if you are still considering buying or selling. Want me to send you a market report your way? You guys, all I did was put in a similar challenge or similar prompt that Blessing just gave me about cold leads. And you guys, this is what it produced. I was thinking about you. It's a warm tone. I was thinking about you. Some people I had great conversations with last year, and your name came into mind. I'd love to reconnect and hear how things are going. Are real estate goals still part of your 2025 game plan, or have things shifted? Right? Notice I didn't ask, are you still thinking about buying a home in Concord? What I'm asking you is an open-ended question to create some type of dialogue. So do you guys like those types of responses? Copy those, put those into your flow. Blessing, anything else you want to share? Blessing going once, Blessing going twice. All right, cool. Maybe she's frozen now. Shah, can you hear me okay? Someone say something.
Yes, I can hear
Yeah.
you good.
All right,
I can
cool.
hear you.
All right, cool. Let's go to the next one, you guys. I'm going to go here. We're going to go. I got a couple more questions prepared for you guys on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday or Friday morning. All right, cool. Let's go to the next one. And anybody can raise their hand on this one. If I don't hand raised within 5 seconds, then I'll just call on somebody randomly. Where have you been busy but not productive? And let's just say this week. And what's the shift you need to make starting today? Let's separate motion from progress and reallocate your energy. So oftentimes we spend time just spinning our wheels. We thought we were going to do something in our database and we didn't actually accomplish it. We thought we were going to get through a list of phone calls, but we didn't do it. We spent too much time in our inbox clearing out shit that we have registered for that is eating up all of our time, so on and so forth. So I want somebody bold on the call to answer the question, where have you been busy but not productive? And what's the shift that you need to make starting today? Who wants to answer that? And I'm going to pause for 5 seconds. 4. All right, was that a little Paul, Lisa? Okay, I saw this go up very, very slow. She went like this. We'll go Lisa, then we'll go Otis. What's good? Let's go, Lisa. What do you got for us?
Good morning. Good morning. So I have been busy this last couple weeks, but I also noticed that I was just in motion, like doing the open houses, trying to complete metrics, but rushing through things and not spending time actually connecting, diving deeper into the connections with people. So the last few days, I've tried to make sure that like the people that I have connected with in the last, month, that I circle back and make sure that the connection is better. And so I have a kind of pre-listing appointment Sunday after my open house in Concord. So got that. And then I was door knocking this last week, connected with the possible buyer, went ahead and did a buyer consultation yesterday and connected with him. So yeah, finally kind of
I want to make sure I isolate this and so I understand the answer. So when you say, where have you been busy and not productive, was it in just busy doing the work, but not productive in making the connection? Did I hear that correctly?
Right. Yeah. So busy, like, trying to get leads and do the things, do the open houses, and talking to people, but they were just kind of sitting there for a minute. So just making sure that
Yeah.
I connected better and then moving things down the funnel. I think just that whole thought process of making sure that I'm moving people along the funnel consistently. So that was the goal this last few days.
Well, I love that. I'm glad that you're taking a breath and saying, you know what, I've been really busy. I've been doing the activities, but have I been doing the activities with intentionality to allow me to truly, truly connect with these people? And so, Lisa, I'm glad that you had that reflection because you just came off of a very, very busy 6 weeks. And so it's important that we say, am I making sure that I'm still keeping that human element and connecting from my heart and really being mindful of that? So Lisa, really good stuff. Otis, you're up next, my man. Let's go ahead and have you answer that question. Where have you been busy but not productive? And what's the shift you need to make starting today?
Extremely busy. And I feel where Lisa's coming from because it's like, it's not that I'm not doing the work, but it's like I'm shooting free throws, but am I shooting free throws to make that last free throw when the game's on the line? I need to make it. I'm just out there shooting them, counting them, right? So I felt her when she was saying that, like, I'm doing the work, I'm following up, I'm sending videos, I'm sending emails, I'm having a conversation. But that's why I was telling you earlier, I felt what you're saying because it's fucking killer season right now. I need to get in my Mamba mode. I need to go Kobe. And I can't just be timid. And it's crazy because I was just telling Jacob that the other day, like, man, fuck that. Don't be timid with those people. Like we talked about how we had to fire that one client. Like we got way too much going on for us to be worried about one person. And then, I was starting a staging company and getting deals with that and, then 4 mentees. And it's just, it's a lot, but I can't complain because just like I told Jacob, what are you complaining about? isn't this what you wanted? Isn't this what you asked for? All of this is what I asked for. So it's just about prioritizing myself and my hours and my schedule just a little bit better and tweaking it out. Maybe it didn't work this way with, me handling sellers and Jacob and Gary handling, buyers. Maybe we need to incorporate all three of us touching them. So it's three different angles, three different type of ways. And just, following up in a better mindset of wanting to like actually get this person out there or get this person to write instead of just like, hey, this is me, just want to reach out. So, like what Lisa was just saying, instead of, just doing the work with intention to get it where it needs to be. So I think that's where it's at. And then focusing just
That's
more
good.
on partnerships.
You know what? I'm so glad that you said this to Jacob. And Jacob, if you're on the line, I don't know. I don't see your face. I thought I saw your name pop in, but if you're here, I heard this quote once and it said, don't complain about what's on your plate when the goal was to eat, right? Like if the goal was to eat, then why are you complaining about what's on your plate, right? We prioritize, we get systemized, we get organized in order to handle these blessings that we have asked the universe to give us, right? This is what we wanted. Now that you're having that, you have to protect this asset. The asset are all the leads that you have developed. Now, if you don't have a system, a flow, a process, an organization to handle those leads, then you are not walking in your purpose. It's one thing to have a great energy or have great energy, to have great communication skills, to get people to even talk to you. Congratulations, because that in itself is very, very hard. Not everyone can do it. You guys are the few. Now you take it a step further. What am I doing to protect that relationship and that energy that I spent so much time developing this lead? I got to make sure that I have priorities. I got to make sure that I have a system. I got to make sure that they're in my database because I'm only human. I'm going to forget. And so, Otis, I really appreciate your narrative and your thought on this. And so we're going to continue cruising on. I got a few more questions for you guys. Let's have someone else grab the mic just like Otis has and just like Blessing has. What's one commitment you didn't follow through on this week and what stood in your way? Now, I originally wrote this and it said why, and I removed the why and I put what stood in your way. No shame, just truth, and let's identify the pattern and break it. So what's one commitment you didn't follow through on this week? Maybe it was a commitment to hit the gym 3 days this week. And once again, you put yourself last. You didn't put yourself first. You put everyone else first. You put your clients, your kids, your husband, your wife, everyone else got the best you, and you got the worst you. Just being real. So what's one commitment you didn't follow through on this week and what stood in your way? We all have it. It happens. So who wants to be bold enough to take that one?
I do.
Who was that? All right, Cindy Cruz, let's roll.
Hey guys, I'm like starting to come popping on your guys's.
Hey, listen, Cindy, you don't ever have to be sorry. That's why this program was built. You're here. Stop saying sorry. Let's roll.
Okay, so the one thing I do struggle with a lot is following a schedule, like getting my hours started early, sticking to my calls, my follow-ups, my pushing the listings, going through our listings and all the tasks. Like I will do a million other things before I like actually really get to my work day. And so that's it. Like I should be, as soon as I get off here, I should be working for the next several hours instead of doing other things.
Cindy, in the moment that you can walk into this, oh, sorry, I've got some feedback. The moment you can walk into this, that it's not a should, this is a must. Right? I must do these things. I'm going to wake up earlier, even if it's hard at first. I'm going to wake up a little bit earlier. I'm going to sit in stillness. I'm going to prioritize my day. I'm going to get my list together. I wasn't always an early riser. I got up at 4 a.m. yesterday. My son heard me up. He's like, what are you doing, Dad? I was like, it's dark. It's dark and I'm on my computer doing stuff. So it's like, make it a priority because I promise you, you're going to get back more of your time if you give it more intentionality and more focus in the morning. I promise you that morning stillness time is going to separate you. It will separate you, Cindy. So if there's anything I can ever do, feel free to call me directly. You and I can chat through that on a more in-depth conversation. But Cindy, I'm really glad that you're here and you're showing up for coaching. That's a big step.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's go, Nico. Rapid fire, big dog. You had your hand up. And I'm getting feedback from somebody's line. I think it was Cindy's. I no longer hear it. Let's go, Nico.
Yeah, so for this week, in terms of commitment, usually I'm shooting for 2 hours of door knocking per day. Wasn't necessarily able to hit that, and the thing that stood in my way was just kind of the lack of a car. So I'm not making that as an excuse, but I utilized just my family. In terms of showings this week, we utilized one car, going to work with my mom, taking that car and shooting back up to North County doing showings. So just making things happen, even if, for instance, I'm having car issues, just trying to find ways around it. But yeah.
Nico, I appreciate that. We had a girl on our team back in the days. Her name was Maria Dominguez. And she told us when she was first starting out, something happened with her car, but she still needed to make business happen. She was out doing showings on roller skates. She would show up to the office on roller skates. And so you need to have that roller skate mentality and figure it out and make it work. So I appreciate you sharing, Nico. Let's continue cruising on, you guys. I got a couple more things I want to ask you. And this is a really, really important one. Looking ahead, what is your 6-month business plan to finish the year strong, proud, and accomplished? I want you to be specific on how many listings, how many buyers, how many conversations per day, and your monthly marketing rhythm. We talked about this on Monday of really looking at your year and really breaking this down and saying, okay, I know I'm going to sell 8 homes from now to the end of the year. I'm putting it out into the universe, I believe, and now I'm going to back it up with some intentionality and with a plan. For example, the example that I gave this week was I want to sell 10 homes from now until December 31st. Well, that means that I'm going to take that 10 and multiply it by 60. That's the amount of conversations that I need to have in order to have one contract is 60. So that number is 600 conversations that I'm going to have until December 31st. That's 23 a week. That is 5 a day. So now that I have my number of 5 conversations a day, you have to ask yourself, am I doing something every single day that allows me to have that amount of conversations? Because when you get to December 31st, every single thing in your business, the good, bad, and the ugly, is going to be reflected on how many conversations you had or did not have. And so you need to do your numbers. You need to sit with yourself, have a mid-year business review and say, okay, I know I need to sell 10 homes, 8 homes, 15 homes, whatever the case is. Be very, very clear on that. Then you make sure that you are diving into the different pillars of pressure. The different pillars of pressure are social media, your community involvement, your sphere of influence, your company generated leads, your door knocking and open houses. That's where all the pressure for you to generate business comes from. But without a plan, without a system, without a strategy of having those conversations, then you're going to run this business by chance. And that's not a way to succeed. And so who's got a business plan that they want to share with the group from now until the end of the year? From now until December 31st, who's got something that they want to share that they feel solid about? That they feel solid, that if they stick to that, they're going to make sure that they hit that amount of production by December 31st. Anybody? Should we do this as a complete mid-year workshop? I'm going to hear from you guys, because if I'm not getting any involvement here, I'm really concerned. I'm concerned that you don't have a plan, and all I want for you guys is to have a solid plan to make sure it carries you through from now until December 31st. So you either have a plan or you do not have a plan. Raise your hand using an emoji on the screen down below. Raise your hand using the reaction button if you have a plan. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to go to Christina. From now until December 31st, what is this plan? Share with us what that is, what it looks like, and what is involved in your plan from now until December 31st.
So I'm taking a different approach because I've been doing a lot of open houses and doing the calls, and sometimes I don't feel like I get as much. So what I talked to some of the more senior agents, they said, focus on getting 3 new follows a week to your socials. And so I'm going to ride that out. I've been meeting that every week and just going to more events. I always have activities going on, but I'm not capitalizing on making the connections. So now moving forward to the end of the year, I'm going to get 3 follows a week.
Okay. And so now, if we take the 3 times 26, that means 78 new follows from now until December 31st. Okay. what is the intentionality with the 78 new followers? What are you going to do with that? What's the flow? What's the rhythm? What's the campaign? Talk to us through the system. That's one thing, you captured it. What happens next?
So I'm posting 3 times a week with just similar to how we did intensity of real estate content, personal content, and then a community content. So they're not just meeting me the first time we're exchanging socials, but I'm also giving them some value by sharing something going on in the news, sharing something about real estate, and sharing something about myself so that we can keep that connection of whatever it was that struck up the conversation. Like I recently had posted like a nail stuff. Like there's so many nail girlies out there, and I'm like, I'm one of them. So now I noticed a couple follows because of that. So it's just like I need to share more of what I like outside of real estate as well as what's going on in real estate to keep them, coming back to my page and looking.
Christine, I really, really love this because anytime you guys post a video, you're going to see how many profile visits. And if you're not getting people to follow you, then it's just like, okay, they're visiting the profile, but they don't have a reason to stay. And so giving them a reason to stay, this is a really, really powerful message because you want more eyes, more visibility. You want to own your fame. You want to build your audience. And so I really like this. And the fact that you are mindful of this, it tells me that you have to walk into every single week with some type of plan. Whether it's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday post, a Monday, Wednesday, Saturday post, whatever it is, you have to consciously be thinking about what you're doing because that's 12 reels every single week. And so I look at this and I really, really like this. 12 reels a week times 26 more weeks. That's 312 reels that you're going to create from now until the end of the year. I like that a lot for you. And you think about how many more people are seeing you and more opportunities that are coming from that. Solid plan. I love that. I love that. Ashley, you had something as well. You had your hand up for a brief moment. Then I'll get to Blessing. Then we'll get to Nicole. Then we'll get to Lisa. Let's go, Ash.
I was just going to offer a strategy to get those 86, 87 people to follow you. I've seen it work in real life, and we are going into fair season, or we're in fair season. So if you go to the Chamber of Conferences of each city, or even ask ChatGPT what events are coming up in the next 5 months, if you get a table, it's about $200 to get a table. You can be there with, I don't know, a photographer or something and have a call to action. Maybe you're giving away Disney tickets. There's a Costco deal right now. It's a great deal. You can buy 2 of them and give them out at a fair. I've seen people get hundreds of followers from just a $200 booth at a fair, and then that'll kill your whole year's goal. I mean, obviously keep doing it. And then you'll have more people watching you when you do your social media posts.
Yeah, Ashley, it's such a brilliant idea. People love raffles. They love to enter to win. They love the spinny wheel. And what it does is say, in order to be able to win these tickets, follow me, right? And tag a friend in here. So it's just like now they're following you, then they're tagging somebody else. You could blow up. You could blow up. And I absolutely love that idea because who doesn't love Disney? I don't, but a lot of people do. So really good stuff. Appreciate the contribution, Ashley. Let's go, Blessing. Blessing, talk to us about the year, the plan. What's going to happen from now until December 31st?
One of my big things that I said in the very beginning of the year is that I was going to take up space. And I didn't quite know what that was, but what's actually stepping forward is that I have deeper community ties than I thought I did. So highlighting a lot of the local businesses, being able to connect. So my son's first basketball league asked me to actually be sponsorship chair to help them connect with other businesses and raise funds for a couple of events that they have coming up. Ashley and the Money Store, we're still working on that one. But basically advertising all of the events that happen, especially in Brentwood and in Oakley. It's so family oriented, and school is out and we don't know what to do with these kids. So door knocking my area, posting all of the fairs, the movie nights, movie in the park, all of the splash pads, the swim events. There's 30 events in Brentwood alone in the month of June. So making sure that I have that content to post, that's what's happening this week, and then carrying it forward for every month, because there's no less than 10 events between the 4 chambers, Discovery Bay, Brentwood, Oakley, Pittsburgh. like I said, there's no less than 10 events every month that I can highlight and at least get the community to feel more like a community.
You know, Blessing, I absolutely love this, and this will serve you really well if you do a monthly high note of all the things that are happening in the Brentwood area. Hey guys, if you want to curate a list of all the things that are happening in the Brentwood area, I got you. I'm your person, all about the community. I've curated an amazing list, so you don't have to search anywhere. All you have to do is, hit this link, and this is your high note presentation that lists everything. I think this is a brilliant, brilliant idea. Let's go back to the fair thing really quick. I think that if you're going to go to the fair, if you're going to do something, I've been seeing this and it's trendy, and I think that it's really effective, getting a shirt with a QR code on the back of it. So Christina, that back of the QR code, back of your shirt, it's enter to win Disney tickets. And all it is enter to win Disney tickets, and it's your QR code, right? And so now you're walking around, people are like, oh, I want Disney tickets. And then they have to go through the funnel, they have to register. Now you've captured all these leads from all these people without even saying a word to people. Okay, you're sitting at a sporting event and you're in the front row and your kids are out there, and on the back you have a QR code, and people can say, oh, well, I want to enter to win $500, $200 to go to wherever. Like, they're going to hover over that. There's just something about it that's fun. I highly, highly recommend that if you're going to do what Ashley said, get yourself a shirt with QR code on it that funnels the people in. It's great. And you guys, this applies to everybody on the call. You're going to something cool. You're going to, football season's coming up. You're sitting in the bleachers and all the people, all the things. People are going to be curious. They're going to hit that QR code and they're going to want to know what it is. So good stuff. Appreciate the reminder, Ashley. Let's go to Lisa. Lisa, what do you got for us? What's the plan for the next 6 months from now until December 31st? What do we got?
Okay, there we go. So I need to do seven conversations a day because I'm behind on my closings. So I have people in my pipeline, but closings I'm behind. So I got to hit 7 to make my goal this year.
So what is that number for the year for conversations?
7 times 5 times 20.
26.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever that is, because I worked it backwards. Yeah. It's a lot.
Okay. Do the math. I want you to know that math and know those numbers. Okay. So how are you going to have these conversations?
Listening to the team right now, I've got like 20 Post-its with ideas, because I love the QR on a shirt at events. So in SAC, we've got SAC State is blowing up right now. We have Shaquille O'Neal's son is playing for Sac State now. Shaquille O'Neal is the GM, like he's voluntary GM. So, and the football team has been doing amazing. So like there's all kinds of excitement around the school and events. And, I didn't go to Sac State, but I have a ton of friends that are alumni. So going to the games and having something to get folks engaged. I don't know.
All right. Here's my recommendation, and this comes from everything I saw Jordan Mott do last year with Penn State. So he is a Penn State alumni, and he ran out of the tunnel at the USC game and was rocking the Penn State flag. I think that if you did a video right now of like, hey guys, Sac State is on fire. Let me share some things that's happening within Sac State. Give a shout out to Sac State if you're an alumni or if you love that school. Like, do a cool video and then tag them in it. Like, tag anybody that is associated with the alumni, with the school, all of that. Like, go directly to their page, follow them, tag them, collaborate with them, and cross your fingers. Maybe they put it on their page. But if so much is going on at Sac State, then go do that video, stand in front of Sac State and tell them all the great things that are happening within that school. I promise you, stuff like that will trend. Stuff like that will trend. So Lisa, I'm glad that you know that you have to hit 7 a day, and now you got to get creative on how you're going to hit that. Lisa, love this for you. Love it. All right, Nicole, what do we got for him?
So between now and December 31st, I have a few different sprints starting Monday the 2nd. going to the first week of August, kids are out of school. So that actually works out better for me because I have somewhere for them to be from 8 to 4 instead of 8 to 2. So I take advantage of those few hours. So I plan on doing a lot more open houses, weekday as well as weekend. I was just telling Lisa last night when we were talking, I was going through and rearranging my calendar to make sure that I'm still doing my activities from intensity, and keeping that momentum going, but making it work for my new schedule for this next few weeks. So that'll be a sprint. And then also I plan on joining a Chamber of Commerce. I'm attending the Black Summit next month. For Juneteenth, I plan on going to EXPCon because I'm also trying to expand my network and get to know a lot more of the EXP agents to have relationships for referrals and things like that. And just keeping the schedule that needs to be kept and talking to as many people and putting myself out as much as I can.
I love this. Internet because for some reason downstairs is not as good as upstairs. Okay. Nicole, I love this. And I love that she's doing her business in sprints and saying there's some small things that I can do to see the finish line. I think that if we operate in that mentality, you're able to see the results in a quicker time frame. I really, really like this. Now, this is a general question for everybody. And thanks for sharing, Nicole. What message do you want your business results to scream on December 31st of 2025? What message do you want your business results to scream on December 31st, 2025? Let your future self speak. Who did you become in the process? What did you stop tolerating? And what did you start owning? And I want you to grab a picture of this because I believe that this is going to take some time for you to sit, to reflect, to answer these questions, to be very, very clear. What message do you want your business to scream when you get to the end of this year? And having your future self tell you, you know what, I'm so proud of you, Blessing. Look at what you've done. Look at all the community things that you've done. Christina, you've gotten more than your 70 EA. You put, 2,000 new people, into your audience. You have tons of engagement. You have people that are reaching out for buyer consultation, listing presentations. Like you have made 70 Gs, 100 Gs, 150 Gs in 6 months of the year. Right? You have freedom, you have, excitement. You've become a woman, a man of purpose, of discipline, of consistency. You've broken through this idea of imposter syndrome. I have become, I am doing, I am no longer waiting for the world to show up. I'm going out there and creating everything. I'm not resting on my laurels. I'm not allowing my past trauma and drama and circumstances and society and the way that I was raised to stand in the way. I achieved, and this is me. And I'm so fucking proud of everything that I've been able to create, right? I don't care about the first 6 months of the year. I care about what happens from now until December 31st. And so I want you guys to sit with this, and I want you guys to allow yourself to speak to yourself. What did you become in the process? Who did you become in the process? What did you stop tolerating? And what did you start owning? God, I love this. I love this. So I want you guys to do that work. I want you to sit with this. And next Friday, I'm going to ask you guys to come full circle on this conversation. And I want to hear your guys' responses to this because I believe that this is a really, really powerful prompt. So let's go to you guys. I want to hear from you. I want to get some thoughts, some takeaways, some insights. And I'm going to go back over to Diana. So Diana, this is your first time sitting in Keep It Moving group coaching. What are some of your thoughts? Where's your head at? Where are you at? Share with us.
My head is at with setting up a concrete business plan for the next 6 months and making some goals with where I want to go with this career. And kind of sitting back on the question of, what is it that I want out of this and how can I get myself there? How can I start building connections? How can I start getting my name out there? How can I become a person that people recognize as while learning and becoming an expert within the field? So that's where my head is at. And again, totally
That's right.
grateful to be here and juiced to get these thoughts flowing so I can make it happen.
I love it. I love it. I think, and I started out being, savage season. This is when the dog comes out. Right. This is when the dog comes out and says, you know what, I'm ready. I'm hungry. I'm ready to go take this. Because if you don't have that dog in you, someone else is gonna say, move over. Let the big dog take the market share. Right? You're the big dog. You're the one that's in savage season. You're the one that's going to take over no matter what. So I appreciate you being here and really excited about forming our relationship and talking more. Let's go over to Ivana. Ivana, what are your thoughts as we do this exercise? What landed for you? Give me some of your insights and some of your takeaways and thoughts. Let's roll.
I'll go back to the first problem we had. Definitely being your authentic self, especially on social media. I remember it was one of the first, I think, workshops we had down in, was it San Jose? I think you were there. Kenny was there.
Hayward. Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't remember who was speaking exactly. And then he said something like this, I believe, be you because that other person is already taken. And that really stuck with me because I think some of us sometimes it's okay to look up to others, especially those who are successful in the business. And I mean, I do the same, but it's really important to really be your authentic self. And I still to this day struggle with that, especially posting on Instagram, creating reels. I always think about what others are going to think, what others are going to say. And like, this was another reminder of like, be yourself and just like, you gotta put it out there. And you said Eric, was it Eric who created those like fun, home tours, and he went viral. So yeah, you just got to do it.
Ivana, nobody else can be you. And I don't know much about you yet. I know that you're a mother. I know that we've all gone through our struggles, but there's still so much that is mysterious, which is good in some ways. But allowing people just to see whoever the heck you are is great because now you get to do business with people that actually like who you are as a person, right? Like that's you. Like take it or leave it, right? This is me.
I actually made a few reels like doing home tours with my son. And I got a great feedback. So
heck yeah, you did.
There it is.
And he's cute. He was cute with his little glasses at the pool the other day. He's a cute boy. So I appreciate your thoughts and your insight. Blessing, let's go back over to you. Blessing, key thoughts, takeaways, insights, and where's your head at based on our conversation today?
Well, I've missed you guys. I definitely have missed being in the room. And as soon as I come back in, it's just a good conversation to always be looking at where you are right now. It doesn't matter what you did in the past. Where do you want to go forward? And do you have the clarity to move forward? And as long as you are challenging who you were and you're testing your own boundaries and your limits, it's always going to be good. So putting the numbers out there, which I realized I didn't put the numbers out there when I was talking about my community events, 6 months of marketing, but I have 4 events that I have scheduled or planned out between now and next year. So I'm not even just looking at through the end of this year, but actually looking forward. And actually the point that didn't come from this call. I think you said it earlier in the week somewhere, because I was working on renewing my license. I finally did that. But have I just had a license or have I had a business for the last 4 years? I've just been holding a license and now it's time to actually run the business. And I'm so stoked because my success to this point has been chaotic and without a plan, but the clarity I have now from doing exercises like this, I'm a different level of excited. Like I don't even need to talk about it.
Blessing, I absolutely love that. And you know what? I'm glad that landed for you because you have to ask yourself, do I just have a real estate license or am I actually operating a business? Right? Because that's a different thought track. There's different things I have to prepare and do and systematize and prioritize when I'm running a business. Anybody can hold a real estate license. You can go. You got a post, you can go get a license. But not everyone can run a successful multi-million-dollar business. So Blessing, I'm glad that you're thinking that way. Appreciate your insight. Appreciate you as always. Let's go, Ashley. Ashley, one key thought, one key takeaway from our time together today.
I would just suggest that everyone reads Brene Brown's Daring Greatly. If you have not picked that book up yet, it's definitely in line with what we're talking about. The only way to make true connections is by being vulnerable, truly being you, sharing things that affected you, and then finding that person on the other side that maybe is the past version of yourself that really needs you and that vulnerable state to connect to. So be you, go out there, use your voice. Don't worry about what everyone else thinks. Elias said something when I first started jumping on these calls. He said 33% of people are going to like you. The rest of them aren't anyway, no matter what. So might as well just be yourself. You're going to attract the people that are supposed to be in your world.
All right, so I just bought that book. I've actually, I've never heard of this book. And so I'm going to get it right now.
It's
Boom, bam.
amazing.
It's
All right, cool.
amazing.
Amazing.
Really? Okay, cool. Place order. Boom. It'll be here tomorrow.
Elias, have you heard of Brene Brown before?
No.
What?
Maybe I have. All right, maybe I have, and maybe just in this moment I'm having a lapse of memory. But
She's like
no.
Mel Robbins, like Brene Brown, Mel Robbins, like they're like big, huge names in this space, and you're gonna
Are you
recognize.
saying? Are you saying? Or are we saying Brene? Okay, I know I see it. Okay, I think I can
You're
help with
gonna
that whole
recognize a
ham.
lot of quotes that you've already shared in this space. You're gonna read them in this book.
Okay, cool. There's another book, Dare to Lead. Okay, cool. Now I'm excited to add a new book into my arsenal. So we're going to go one more key takeaway. Cindy Cruz, one key thought, one key takeaway from our time together today. Thanks once again for being here. Let's go.
To be generically yourself. I think a lot of times I'm actually
generically
I
or
mean, not
authentically?
to be yourself.
Okay.
To be vulnerable, on social media, and to like share not just like your positives but your struggles, because I actually am somebody that does like to share the vulnerable sides of me, and I will get a lot of pushback from people that like, oh, you're sharing too much or whatever. But like honestly, I will be like out and about and people will come up to me and be like, thank you so much for sharing that. Like I've just went through a divorce. I've been through a lot of things that, when I was really sharing my dark moments, and sometimes people were like, you're sharing too much. But I mean, I would have people come up to me and be like, you're actually like getting me through what I'm going through right now. And I was the one I was getting through when other people were sharing their dark times with me, and I would be following their accounts when they were going through their divorces and they were like already seeing the light and stuff like that. So I think just kind of like digging back into that.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And you know what? Sometimes people are afraid of their own emotions. They don't want to hear the vulnerability because it forces them to look inward, and they're not ready for that journey. You see, emotional acuity, emotional intelligence is what separates us in this business. And so some people are not ready to be that person. Emotional intelligence is of the utmost importance in today, in life, in business, in our parenting, in our relationships. So I put EQ at the very, very highest level, and I put that with the most utmost. And so I appreciate you sharing that, because they're not ready for that level of emotion. You are, because you're emotionally astute. So I'm proud of you, and congratulations on all of your growth. And divorces aren't easy, but I'll tell you what, once we free ourselves from that relationship, we get to find ourselves again. And so congrats on all the growth that you've displayed in your life. So you guys, we're going to wrap session. I'm going to head over to our Stockton office. We're going to do an event today, have some fun, free headshots. So if you're in the Stockton area or surrounding areas, you want to come by, have some fun with us, feel free to stop by. But you guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for your contributions. I want you to look at the next 6 months as this is our savage season. I want you to have a winter season. I want you to have gifts for Christmas and all the things you guys want to do. And that's where you need to be looking. You need to be looking 6 months out and making sure that you have a plan that's going to help you live the lifestyle that you deserve. If you need anything, let me know. I unfortunately have to take James home today, but fortunately we get to be on the road for 5.5 hours, just talking, catching up, and just being brothers. And so you guys have an amazing day. I'm full of gratitude. Keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and have yourself an amazing, amazing weekend. Peace.